Millennials are America's future, and often its favorite punchline. People say we're young, but the oldest millennials are nearing 40. People say we're dumb, but we're the most educated generation ever. And people say we're spoiled, but we're the first generation in American history who'll be worse off financially than our parents. We're traveling across the country to find out how young Americans are surviving, and in some cases thriving. I'm Brad Hunt, and this is American Paycheck. Maryland is one of the wealthiest states in the country, but in its biggest city, nearly a quarter of the population lives below the poverty line.
Baltimore, baby, yeah.
So Baltimore is one of the most highly segregated cities in America. There's over 256 different neighborhoods, and depending upon which neighborhood you're born in, that determines your life expectancy. It determines whether or not you'll be successful, whether or not you'll graduate high school, if you'll live to see 25, and that shouldn't be.
Generational poverty is an unjust sanction levied against the poor. Wealth inequality, high incarceration rates, and the loss of its steel industry have plagued Baltimore. So many people have made it their living to make a change in their city through direct service, education, and employment.
We believe at Cash Campaign that the environment that people live in is really important. We're trying to keep predatory lenders and payday loans and other harmful financial products sort of out of our communities, and so that's a big part of our work. Our policy team is in Annapolis every year, really working to try to keep this really predatory debt out of Baltimore. A law was passed a couple of years ago that actually banned payday loans and auto title loans. They're illegal to be offered in Maryland, which is a pretty big win for us. At Cash, all of our services directly to clients are completely free. So we offer a series of direct service programs. So our biggest of which is free tax preparation, which maybe not the most interesting way to start addressing the wealth gap, but it's actually really one of the most effective. Our average client gets about $1,000 to $2,000 back every year. Sometimes it's the biggest paycheck they receive all year.
So I take what we're learning and I basically try to help pass laws that reduce poverty. The Earned Income Tax Credit, also known as the EITC, is one of the most effective anti-poverty programs in the history of the US. It's a bipartisan policy historically. The reason why it was created is to offset income taxes for low-wage workers. So it encourages you to stay in the workforce even if you're making really low wages. It's demonstrated to be an income mobility tool. So in Maryland, the average person who gets the EITC only gets it for 2 to 3 years, and the reason is because it helps them get to the next level in their financial life. Baltimore needs to become a more financially inclusive city because we're talking about generations of lacking opportunity.
We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, sir.
Author D. Watkins. Welcome, sir.
You're already a New York Times bestselling author.
Try to get that again. Congratulations.
D. Watkins, editor-at-large for Salon and best-selling author.
Author and educator D. Watkins joins us.
The books I write are contemporary experiences talking about things that I care about, that young people care about, that things that are happening right now, things we had to deal with.
When you have these experiences, they are currency. You can't gloss over incarceration. When you have these stories to draw from, you become even more authentic. People want to buy a story, so you give them a little taste.
I love teaching. Teaching is a part of my body of work. I love the fact that I get to share certain ideas and things with students. It's important to me. That's my mission. Like, we gotta continue to pass these gems down to the next generation.
In the 90s, early 90s, it was nice. And then when crack really hit this neighborhood, that's when it just, everything just kind of fell apart.
When I was younger, I didn't realize how rough it was selling drugs and being in the streets. And my brother was killed, and then I turned around and lost my grandmother right after that, and it just sent me on a spiral downward. So I dropped out, and then I went to the street, and that's kind of how I got there. Because I made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision that came from not reading, not thinking. And I started focusing on school and focusing on my studies, and it just changed the way I saw myself, changed the way I saw the world, the way I communicated with other people. Critical thinking is as important as oxygen and water. These jails are full, and people aren't getting what they deserve because they will make you pay for not knowing. So I've made over 300 visits to schools and jails. We've donated over 10,000 books. We've helped spark the career of new creatives and new writers in certain segments of Baltimore City. We've made reading cool. I made it a point to be accessible so I can come in and meet these people, because now an author is normal to them. You on the street, you gonna see people on the street every day. It ain't gonna be strange to say, do I know a drug dealer? It's not strange saying, do I know somebody that's a murderer? It shouldn't be strange for them to say, I know a person who's traveled the country as an artist. You need to put some actions to your words. Be active, meet people and talk to them. And if you have a way to help them make money, show them. Everybody in the world loved Freddie Gray after he was dead. He doesn't need that love right now, he's dead. There's so many kids in Baltimore walking around who have some of the same issues that Freddie Gray has had. Are you gonna confront them and work with them and try to keep them from spiraling down a dark path, or are you gonna cross the street when you see them?
Freddie Gray's death while in police custody brought national attention to Baltimore, igniting mass protests, where Kwame Rose first became a voice for his city.
Literally everything I said, like that was stuff I had been saying the entire time. Like, we're tired of you all not here to talk about the real issues. They see this as anger, when really this is just an expression and a cry for hope. I never considered myself an activist, although issues I talked about when Freddie Gray died are the same issues I would talk about in high school at the table. It's the same issues that got me a full scholarship for debate in college. It wasn't like I just woke up and was like, I'm gonna be an activist. Nah, it just happened.
You Antonio, you the guy that called me 13 times yesterday before 8 o'clock. Mic check.
So I was contracted by the Black Institute to send canvassers out here in Baltimore for the Keep Stars campaign.
We got 8 there, we got 4 here, we got 10 in the car, so what that make 22.
Some of the people I'm hiring are individuals from the community. I have a couple of people who are just released from state and federal prison.
I'm not trying to go back to prison. I'm not trying to go back to prison. And Kwame, he just been there every step with us. Like, he not tripping off, what we done in the past or what type of person we are. He's trying to better us to be a better person. I can't be coming back out selling drugs and toting guns no more. I got to change my life. And with an opportunity like this, I'm gonna change my life, you know what I'm saying?
We want to change the narrative of Baltimore. This is a place where great people are born, where great people can stay, where great people can live, and great people can help.
Dante Brown's boxing gym has become a pillar in the community through his partnership with YAP and its YAP Works program, which takes minors in youth detention centers and pairs them with local businesses, providing at-risk youth with mentors, life skills, and meaningful work as an alternative to time behind bars.
My role with YAP Works is I'm a community resource for them. So they contact me when a youth is interested in trying to be able to get a job, trying to be able to work with them to get a lot more youth hired and employed instead of having them behind bars.
I work at the front desk. I help wrap people's hands. I greet people, help around the gym. If Dante needs any extra help around, I help him. Me before YAP, I really wouldn't care for real, like just wilding out. I violated my probation, Yeah, from there, got locked up. I know it wasn't right, so but it was the only way, you feel me? But I know it wasn't right. I found a way that I can get money the right way now, you feel me? So I don't look back for real. I'm not trying to be in the system for all my life. I have a newborn. Gotta change my ways.
I was a part of the school-to-prison pipeline. I was considered to be an at-risk youth. And it's almost like I positioned myself to be the mentor I wish that I had when I was a youth. They may have made a mistake once, but we don't want them to be defined by that mistake 20, 30 years from now. So I love working with him. He's a great guy. He's willing to work. He's hungry. He has a lot of potential. Even if he doesn't see it himself, I try to make sure I plug that into him.
95% of YAP's nearly 2,000 youth participants are integrated back into their communities a year after completing the program, for a fraction of the cost of traditional imprisonment.
Just little things help. Waking up, going to work, coming home, it feels good. They change me, they make me realize like I'm not a waste of a life. I can do something with myself.
In order for people to grow, you have to give them the opportunity, which means that you have to be vulnerable as a leader to be willing to take a shot on them. And I'm definitely willing to take a shot on the people that I'm working with.
After you've been gone for 13 years, those small things like this really means a lot, just to pick up a check.
What's up, man? In Baltimore, you don't really get to see like a lot of people being alive and having a mirror, especially young black people. I might not change the world, but if I inspired the 2 or 3 minds they did, then I've done something.
Kwame, D, Cash, and Yap responded to Baltimore's problems not by surrendering hope, but by supplying it through direct service, education, and employment. In what other ways will these changemakers inspire their city? Only time will tell. But for now, all that matters is tomorrow's paycheck.